Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me, JB, and I'm here to bring you another book video. And today we're doing my September wrap up. You guys, I think this is the most books I've ever read in a month. Okay, look, I might be new to this, but I'm true to this, okay? And I read some good ones here. I watched a lot of booktube videos, so a lot of my inspiration was from that. There's two books I would say that I just bought on my own without seeing it on booktube. But let's get right to it. And if you like this video, please hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that way you don't miss any of my videos. Okay, and look, just to put this out there, if anybody suffers with any triggers, please, any books that I mention on this channel, look up trigger warnings, okay, because we don't need nobody getting triggered around here. Please don't do it to yourself. So without further ado, let's get started. So I read, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books last month. And like I said, it was a pretty good month when it comes to the books. Let me see if I could get back and focus here. Trying to see if I could hurry up and do this video pretty quickly. I have to pick my daughter up from school in a little bit, well, from the bus stop. And then I'm going to meet some girlfriends out for a couple of cocktails. And look, if you want to see that experience out here in New Orleans, because look, if you plan to visit anytime soon, you know we got the good food, okay? And we're going to this little spot called Mr. Oso. It's downtown. And we have a couple of friends that work there, so they have a great happy hour, and that's when we're going for happy hour between 4 to 7, because your girl here loves a deal. We like to ball on a budget around here, okay? Anyway, so to start this video, I'm going to start with a book that I least liked this month. Not to say that I hated it, not to say that it was terrible, but it left me wanting more for sure. And that was Temper by Lane Fargo. So this is about an aspiring actress who lands a lead role in the play called Temper. And her director slash co-star is a lot to deal with. He's a lot to deal with. And she wants to please him very badly, and he wants her to be the best actress that she can be. And boy, in the end, do things go wrong. Their personalities was just a recipe for disaster. But why this was the lowest book this month was because there was no plot twist. Like maybe there was like a little plot twist, and if you could call that a plot twist, and I'm like, okay, anything else? Also, it was very predictable on what was going to happen in the end. Extremely predictable. And what I like to do when I'm reading a book, when I know I'm at the last 10 to 15 pages, I just read and read. And then once I get to the last page and I'm like, oh, the story's over. How do I feel? With this one, I'm like, like, there is no more? What the hell? Like, I did not like how this book ended, how this story ended. I was like, it felt incomplete to me, okay? I was turning the pages and turning, I was like, yes, okay, this is the good part. This is what I read this book for. And then just left me there. It was like, Lane Fargo, baby, you was down bad. But in the end, I would probably give this one a 2.5. And also, too, I'm not like a theater person. I think if someone is in theater, is in that lifestyle in the arts, I think you might appreciate this story a little more because it would totally be more relatable to you. But it just wasn't. It was okay. The ending left me wanting more. There was no plot twist, and it was very predictable. So take what you will with that, okay? The next book, I didn't like put these in order on like how I really wanted to rate them, like from my worst to the best. I just knew Temper was the worst one that I read this month, so I was like, you know what, let's just start there and get that one out of the way. Now, the next books I truly enjoyed. All these other ones I would consider, for the most part, a 4 or 5, except, and this is where I'm gonna go next. This is one I would not rate a 4 or 5. And this is Black Candle Women by Diane Marie Brown. Now, from reading about the author, this is a debut novel from her. This was a cute one, you guys. Okay, I do recommend this book. It just did not stand up like the plot. It was okay. But it didn't stand quite next to these other books. Okay, it wasn't as thrilling. That's what I would say. But however, this book has 2 settings in California and New Orleans. That is what intrigued me to pick this book up in the first place. I got this book from Target, and reading the description is in it and knowing that it took place in New Orleans and notice that it's centered around hoodoo, it had me intrigued. I did notice, though, that the author is not from New Orleans herself. She is actually from California, but she has family who live in New Orleans and would come every summer. So I was like, okay, I am very critical when people write books or do movie, films, documentaries dealing with New Orleans, especially people that's not from New Orleans, you know. And I'm very sensitive about my city. And if you're going to write about my city, you got to get it right. I think Diane Marie Brown did do a great job. This is a multi-generational story. It has the great-grandmother, it has the grandmother, it has the 2 daughters, which is the auntie and mother, and then the very last is the actual daughter. And they all live in a house together. And you know that saying, 2 women cannot live in a house together. And when you have 5, you know there is some drama. So basically, the whole family is cursed. Anybody that they fall in love with dies. Okay? And the daughter has no idea about this curse. No one ever told her. I think she's like 17 years old, and she brings a boy home. And ooh, is her mama mad. But like I said, they never told the girl about the curse or anything. She soon learns and discovers about the curse. But the story is pretty interesting. It's a coming of age story, again, along with a generational story of strong Black independent women, which I love. It has the hoodoo element to it. Yeah, this was a very cute story. I do recommend it. It just wasn't, as I would say, juicy, or they did have drama, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't the intense drama that I like to read about. But you guys, my girl Diane Marie Brown, she truly did a great job with this one, and I do recommend it. So the next book I'm going to talk about, I'm going to pick up this one. It's right on the top. Stephen King's Fairy Tale. Now, this was the first Stephen King book that I have read, period, in my whole life. Okay, I know, shocker. But I love this cover. I went in Barnes and Nobles. I seen this cover, the title Fairy Tale. I was like, yes, I already know where this is leading. Another world, Portals. I love that trope in a book when there is another world, another dimension involved. And this gave me just that. Now, obviously, this was not a horror book. It did have some little horror elements to it, but this was definitely more fantasy. And here we're following a young gentleman named Charlie. Very nice boy. Long story short, he inherits a house from an older man that he ends up befriending due because the old man fell off his ladder, had an accident, and then Charlie nursed him back to health. The old man ended up passing away. He took care of the dog, and now, like I said, the old man left the house to him, and there's a shed in the back. And in the shed, baby, there is a well. And in the well, that well leads to a whole nother different well. And I loved it. They played on like old fairy tales. There is certain scenes in here that remind me of Squid Games. Okay, so this was a cute story. I truly enjoy reading it. This is one I would definitely read again. And I can see why Stephen King is the GOAT of writing novels, because this is a hefty novel. And boy, was this a fun story. So I definitely recommend this one. Another story that I truly enjoyed was 56 Days by Catherine Ryan Howard. This is one I seen on BookTube. And yeah, I liked it. I liked it, the dual point of views that this one had. Well, matter of fact, it was 3 point of views. I'm sorry, because it was the couple's point of view and the detective point of view. I really liked it when it got to the detective parts of the book, like the chapters that were the detective's point of view. And this book took place right when the pandemic COVID-19 was beginning, and 56 days, or however many days throughout the pandemic, and someone ends up dying. And this is stated in the beginning that someone is dead in the apartment. The detective is coming to find out this mystery. And again, that's stated in the beginning of the book. So the book is going back in time, back 56 days, and coming back to the murder. So that's the story. Now, this definitely had a couple of twists that I did not expect, and I was absolutely pleasantly surprised. I got through this one very quickly. It was very easy to read, and this was fun. It was a good time, and I recommended it. 2 books left, and the next one I'm going to talk about is The Southern Book Club Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. Now, y'all know this book been floating around everywhere, which is why I got it. It's my first time reading a Grady Hendrix book, and I love his writing style. When people say it's campy, I understand what they mean. It definitely have horror elements to this, and the portrayal of what a vampire is in this story was different, and I liked it. I liked that it was suburban housewives. They was in a little book club. They read horror books and thriller books, crime books, and there was drama. There was a little messiness. I loved it, this book. This was so cute. It was entertaining. I would definitely give this one, I would say maybe a 4 out of 5. Grady Hendrix, he definitely talks about also in his book issues. I would say modern day issues, because he talked about like the difference between black communities and white communities, also subtly, like when the attacks were going on, how in the white neighborhood the police took 3 minutes to come, whereas in the black neighborhoods the police, who knows when they coming. Okay, it could be a missing child, it could be whatever. They probably ain't coming till the next day. So he definitely has a message in his book, which I love. It was fun, it was campy, it was drama, gave me Desperate Housewives mixed up with Dracula. I loved it. I loved it. The last book that I read this month, and when I want juiciness, when I want drama, baby, this is the type of book I'm talking about. The Swap by Robin Harden. This is my first time reading Robin Harden as well, and I got through this book very quickly, and I loved it. I loved it. I would totally give this a 4 out of 5. I mean, a 4.5, maybe 5. They did have the twist for me was not mind blowing. I liked how the story ended. They did have a couple of twists. I was like, okay, okay. I liked the obsessiveness of this. I love how one of the main characters were manipulative. You know, she was a character that I've dealt with a lot in life. She's a character that a lot of people deal with in life. And she got what was coming to her baby, okay? We following a young lady named Lo. She's very awkward. She lives in a household where her parents are polyamorous, which is interesting, and they've been that way since she was 5 years old. And she's a sexless child. Like, she does not, I guess because her parents are so oversex, she's like, you know. But anyway, she's in high school. This fashionista ex-influencer comes to her school to want to get, I guess, high school students to come to her pottery class, which Lo is the only one that signs up and goes, because instantly Lo becomes obsessed with this young lady. This young lady befriends her and tells her secrets on why her and her husband had to move to this small town. And then another wrench comes in with another couple moving to this same town. And then the lady, Freya, her name Freya, the lady. Freya now befriends this other lady. And Lo gets jealous. Okay? And where the swap come in at is one night that little manipulative Freya, she convinces the other couple to come over and have drinks with her and her husband and do some shrooms. And it is a night that they will never forget, okay? And then that's where the whole plot just, whoo, that's where it had me engaged. And this was a page turner, and I loved it. And once I started it, I did not want to stop, you guys. So yes, this one I definitely recommend. If you love juiciness, drama, this is the one. Well, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. I hope you like this video. Leave down in the comment what you read in the month of September. I definitely would love to know. And have you read any of these books that I mentioned, and how you feel about them? You know, I'm curious to know. But again, you guys have a blessed day, and till the next video. Bye.